This one is for Kelly. Thank you for supporting Greater Boston.
So Bill Murray's a TV weather guy named Phil, and he's got to go to this Hicksburg, Punxsutawney to do the whole bullshit groundhog looking for its shadow thing. But there's supposed to be a big blizzard coming, except Phil says, no way, it's not going to happen. Except what he should have told Punxsutawney was, it's not a snowstorm coming, it's a dick storm, because I'm coming to town. Because, Phil is this total nut puncher who's got to make everyone around him feel like shit all the time, even his own goober cameraman. Meanwhile, there's this new producer going on the trip with him, a girl named Rita, who's so fucking sweet and nice you just gotta barf rainbows every time she talks. So naturally, Phil immediately hates her, and on this one case, I can't blame him. So Phil, Rita, and Goober get in their news van and drive to Punxsutawney. They get in the night before Groundhog Day, but Phil goes straight to his hotel so he doesn't have to deal with any hick bullshit hick town. He just wants to get his job done and get out. He wakes up the next day at 6 a.m. to that Cheese Fuck Love song by Cher, and that congressman who skied into a tree, and the radio crap chatters are all, it's Groundhog Day. Phil gets dressed, leaves his room, takes time to be a dick shit to Oliver Hardy and Granny Weatherall on his way out, then heads to his shoot. They do the whole shtick with the groundhog, seeing his shadow and whispering to the mayor. The groundhog is also named Phil, by the way, and Groundhog Phil is a fat little ball of squee for the record. But then Dickbag Phil is all, that's a wrap, let's get out of here. And they try to leave, but they can't because a blizzard did come and shut down the only road out of town because apparently Punxsutawney is in a fucking cave or something because there's only one way in or out. So fine, they're stuck. They go back to their hotels, and Phil goes to bed to try to sleep through it. So he wakes up the next day at 6 a.m. to that Cheese Fuck Love song by Cher, and that congressman who skied into a tree, and the radio crap chatters are all, it's Groundhog Day. Dickbag Phil gets dressed, leaves his room, takes time to be a dick shit to Oliver Hardy and Granny Weatherall on his way out, though he's confused to find them standing in exactly the same spots they were in the day before. He heads to the town center, where he finds Goober and Rita waiting to do the whole groundhog shtick, like they hadn't just done it the day before. He rushes through the whole groundhog shtick, gets them back in the van, and tries to burn rubber out of town before the storm can hit. It's no good. The storm's all like, fuck you, Phil, and get thee back to Hicksburg. Because, clearly, he ain't allowed to leave. So, he wakes up the next day at 6 a.m. to that Cheese Fuck Love song by Cher, and that congressman who skied into a tree, and the radio crap chatters are all, it's Groundhog Day. But now he's starting to get it. This is just going to keep happening. He's stuck. So for a little while, he starts trying to enjoy it. He eats all the pastries, drinks all the booze, has all the sex, and basically uses the lack of repercussions to be an even bigger dickbag to everyone around. But then that gets old and he's done with it, and he just wants out. So he spends a week just killing himself over and over. Swims with a toaster, gets hit by a train, then he steals Groundhog Phil because he decides they both have to die. And I'm all, hands off the rodent Phil, you immortal douchemonger. But fuck if he listens to me because he gets a truck and drives off a cliff. But the universe is all like, nope. And he wakes up the next day at 6 a.m. to that Cheese Fuck Love song by Cher, and that congressman who skied into a tree, and the radio crap chatters are all, it's Groundhog Day. So then he decides he wants to get with Rita. But unlike the other girls in town, Rita already knows Dickbag Phil is a dickbag, so he's got to work harder to win her over. And so he just starts memorizing shit about her. Like she studied French poetry and hates chocolate fudge because there's something seriously wrong with her. But Phil still wants to get with her anyway. So each day he starts acting like he's into all the same shit she's into. Like he takes time to learn fucking French just so he can recite a poem to her, like the one she studied. But here's the thing. It doesn't work. Because Phil is a total phony, doing the whole quote-unfucking-quote nice guy routine, where he only acts decent long enough to get his bone on. But Rita sees right through it and slaps Dickbag Phil right in his dickbag face over and over and over for weeks. So, he wakes up the next day at 6 a.m. to that Cheese Fuck Love song by Cher, and that congressman who skied into a tree, and the radio crap chatters are all, it's Groundhog Day, and Dickbag Phil is all like, I need a fucking hobby. So now he starts learning shit. He starts taking piano lessons until he's a virtuoso piano player. And he learns ice sculpting, and he spends 6 months mastering just tossing a playing card into a fucking hat. But that shit takes time. For everything he learns to do, he's got to be living Groundhog Day for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. He starts getting to know the town in the process. All the little things that are going on everywhere. Down to the second. Like when he needs money to pay for his piano lessons, he's able to steal a bag of cash from an armored car because he knows exactly when a waitress with a faulty bra strap is going to spill a roll of quarters. So, after a few thousand years of that, he wakes up the next day at 6 a.m. to that Cheese Fuck Love song by Cher and that congressman who skied into a tree, and the radio crap chatters are all, "It's Groundhog Day." And by now, he knows everything about everybody in the town, and he just goes about his day helping people all over the place. Catching a kid who falls out of a tree, Heimlicking a chunk of steak out of the mayor, talking to kids out of wedding jitters with WrestleMania tickets, and just generally taking care of everybody. And meanwhile, Rita's seeing all this and going along with him on errands. And now she's actually falling for him because he's not doing it for her. He's just genuinely not being a dickbag because he's done being like that. And she goes back to his hotel and they fall asleep just talking after Phil has made a perfect day for everyone. So he wakes up the next day at 6 a.m. to that Cheese Fuck Love song by Cher and that congressman who skied into a tree, and the radio crap chatters are all like, "Nah, just fucking with you, dude. It's totally the next day." And Rita's still there, and there's snow on the ground from the storm, and time's finally flowing, and Phil turns to Rita and is all like, "Let's live here." And so then I'm all like, dude, what the fucking fuck? Get out while you can. It's a nice town and all, but you've been there for thousands of years. Go to the fucking beach or something. Yeah, but anyway, good flick.
Greater Boston is written and produced by Alexander Danner and Jeff Van Dreason. This episode featured Johanna Bodnyk as Mallory.